Drug shortage is putting pressure on students as they enter a new school year. Since last year, families say they've seen a shortage of the ADHD medications.
Yeah, this year families are even traveling hours to solve their learners' issues. 5 News reporter Jose Carranza shows us why the shortage continues, even a year later. Good morning, Jose.
Yeah, almost a year later, the FDA is still continuing to say that the medication Adderall is in shortage. It's used for the treatment of the ADHD, and it has parents concerned with this shortage of their students' learning. Earlier this month, the FDA announced a shortage of the ADHD medicine, Adderall. Here locally, we're seeing this issue as they've seen this become a problem at NWA Psychiatry. Dr. Randy Staley says the shortage has started to affect other options as well.
Doctors like myself would change patients from the medicines that are no longer available to new medications, which then put pressure on them, and they were unable to keep up with the demand at that point in time whenever you take one of the largest medicines that we use off the market, basically.
The FDA says the supply in the market just can't keep up with the demand, and with the new school year starting, that problem just continues to grow.
Because you have a lot of kids that we thought they were doing well over the course of the summer because the demands on them were much lower, and now that they're back at school, the demands are much higher, and they're realizing, oh goodness, what worked last year isn't working as well this year.
For parents, medicine is becoming a part of their child's back to school list because the alternative could lead to a hard year.
It makes it more difficult for them to be able to bring in and retain information. They find that they get distracted, they forget to do things, they forget to turn in their homework, so their grades get lower, which then can actually lead to increase in depression and anxiety as well.
Which is causing many people to go quite the distance just to get their medicine.
So there are a lot of people who, they're driving 2-3 hours sometimes in order to find these medications.
To make sure they receive the same results.
It can change their care to a little bit. Part of the reason is that all medications are not created equal. Patients may have an over-medication or an under-medication for a period of time before you're able to get the right dosing figured out. You increase their risk of side effects because they were stable on something before. Now you're introducing a new chemical into their system, and so they may have different side effects than they had before. And all of that can impact their schooling, it can impact their employment, things along those lines.
The FDA says they're continuing to monitor supply levels as manufacturers estimate a resupply over the next few months. But until then, the demand continues to grow, even for adults.
To be real honest, I would tell you that for every child and adolescent that I'm diagnosing, I'm probably diagnosing an adult at the same time for ADHD.
Now, Dr. Staley does say that parents can continue to look for alternatives. He suggests they also be in contact with their schools to accommodate their students' learning. For now, we're live in Fayetteville, covering news where you live. Jose Carranza, 5 News.